I know a lot of people are interested in the Final Fantasy 1 through 6 pixel remasters coming out for the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation this spring. And the one problem is if you wanted it physical, Square-Enix kind of, screwed a lot of people over. The biggest problem was not necessarily the price, that's part of the issue, but that they didn't give you the heads up. They just said, hey, we're going to sell these limited physical edition exclusively through them, and that's it. And then they stealthily dropped it, and it sold out instantly. They had an anniversary edition, and they had a standard edition. So, like, for the anniversary edition for Nintendo Switch, $260. They do have it where it says waiting list, and if you click on that, who knows if they'll ever notify you, because I never got notified from these guys. And it's popped in and out of stock, maybe when people have canceled, but very few and far between when it's popped back up. But with the anniversary edition, you would get all these bonuses, a vinyl record set that looks kind of neat, the big anniversary box to house everything, these pixel figurines, which look cool, and then this pixel art book, which is the only thing I'm really interested in. So I have the first pixel, book, the art book, and this is the remaster version. It looks kind of neat. I'm really curious to see that. And then the game, some people I've seen like say, hey, I don't really want to have to open this to get to the game. The game's going to be separate from that anniversary box. So if you're somebody who wants to keep all that nice and sealed, you're a collector, you don't have to open it to get to the game. But the game does have a lenticular sleeve. I don't know if they're going to plastic wrap over that or what, who knows for sure. But the game's going to be separate from all that. Now, if you just wanted the standard edition, sold out. Everything's sold out here. $75. I know that's more than The Legend of Zelda, the new Zelda game. $5 more. It's pricey. And if you wanted this digitally, and it's going to be digital on the Switch and PS4, I'm sure it's going to have to be. Why not? And if they sell everything individually, it's kind of pricey. On Steam, the bundle was $75. Each individual game, the first 3 games are $12 each, and then the last 3 games are $18 each. Now, that's nice if you just want a couple of the games. You don't want the full package. But yeah, it's a pricey endeavor. And for people who really wanted this and they couldn't get it, and yeah, some of these, like the PS4, I think the standard edition, it'll have a wait list. Anniversary edition will have the wait list. But then the Switch version, it just, no longer available. It keeps changing, so who knows for sure if you get lucky enough to get it through these guys. But there is a new option. And this is an option that I'm always looking at, and I've shared this with a lot of people recently when this popped up, is that the physical edition for both the PlayStation and the Switch is going to be available through Play Asia. It's been up for a whole day. You can pre-order it now, the same damn price, $75. It is pricey, man. There's no getting around it. It's an expensive game, dang it. And this is not going to have the ESRB logo on it. It's not a North American released version. But it is in English. This is an Asian version. When you go on Play Asia, games will be sorted, like they'll have this Asia logo or the Japanese logo, and you just got to look what languages are available. Like I've bought a bunch of games through Play Asia because sometimes there's games that they're released digitally here, and then there's never a physical copy. I'm not sure with all these, but I've wound up buying like a lot of stuff that there was no physical at the time in the US. A lot of Square-Enix stuff. Chrono Cross, Radical Dreamers Edition, Saga Frontier Remastered, Final Fantasy IX. Then some games that like they'll be the Asian or Japanese region and they'll do it a little differently. Like I know some of these games had like where the US counterpart were part of one of the games, the double packs would be like a download code instead of like both games on the cartridge type of thing. And even like, Samurai Showdown Neo Geo collection, I bought that through Play Asia as well. And I always look, if it says Asia, usually it's a Southeast Asian release, and usually it'll be in English. You don't have to guess because Play Asia will put that on there. Like here, it says English. And it's not the Japanese copy, it's an Asian release. And I believe they do that a lot because I've heard before, like in certain areas, they don't have an eShop. So a lot of games that get released, they'll do a physical release in Southeast Asia. And a lot of times it has a lot of different language options. So, and a lot of times too, the games will be like completely in English on the back of the box and everything. Like most of these, except for the ones that are purely Japanese releases, like Final Fantasy X, 10-2, this is all in Japanese on the packaging, but the game is in English. You just have to look. They'll have plenty of them that list that, but a lot of times when it's Asian, it'll say English here. And they have this up for both the PS4 and the Switch right now, $75. It's a little expensive. If you spend over $100, $99.99, you get free shipping. I typically just pay the expedited shipping that is tracked, signature confirmation, and all that because I've ordered a lot from them. One time, it was one particular game. I don't even remember what it was. I did the basic cheap shipping, and the package, like, I couldn't track it. It got mixed up somewhere, and it got delayed for months. And I was like hitting up PlayAsia, like, hey, I think my package is lost. What's going on? It eventually showed up, but I was like, man, I ain't dealing with that again. Let me just pay the expedited shipping that has tracking and all that. And if you do that for this Pixel Remaster for either the Switch or the PS4, your price is going to be right under $100. You're nearly at $100 with shipping. They state that it's expected to ship April 20th. On the Square-Enix page, it says the tentative release date is May 31st. So not 100%, you know, who's going to get what first, but a lot of times PlayAsia, I wind up getting games from them before it's released elsewhere. An example would be like limited run games. I can't tell you anything that I don't buy anything from these guys, but there's a lot of times they'll list things here and you'll pre-order it and you'll be waiting, never knowing where the hell's my game. Even standard editions, not just like collector's editions, but you'll be like, where the heck's my game at, yo? And you'll just be waiting. But a lot of times they'll have games here that if you go and PlayAsia, you'll find them. I remember one was River City Girls. Like, I wanted that, and I bought it through PlayAsia. It was in English and everything. I got it before, like, limited run games. Like, same thing with, like, the Snow Brothers special, stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of games that either exclusive to certain retailers or eventually they come out. A lot of times you wind up getting these Southeast Asian releases quicker. And you'll see like River City Girls 2, multi-language Asian release. This is a Japanese I didn't know they have River City Girls 1 and 2. And it's $40 here. This is a Japanese copy, so it's going to have that Sero, you know, whatever, like their ESRB type thing. And it says multi-language here. I might actually pick this up because I never played the second one. That's reasonable price, but when you look at the shipping, it is a little nuts with these guys. But it's the price you got to pay type of thing. But it says multi-language, so it's like, okay, well, is that English? Usually they'll have it listed here. Yeah, down here, River City Girls, the first one supports Japanese, English, Korean, traditional Chinese, and simplified. And then the second game, the same stuff, but plus French, Italian, German, and Spanish. So you'll see whatever language you're looking for, does the game support it? Boom, there you go. You'll look at stuff like Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition, and always look at the stock too. If it's pre-order, if it's in their warehouse, if they're restocking, it'll tell you down there. So this says English on the actual listing, and then it'll tell you this version includes English, Japanese, Spanish, French, German. So I'm always like taking a gander at PlayAsia for some of these games that we don't get physical releases for, and this is an option. If you want that Pixel Remaster, I'm just throwing it out there, you know, sharing the news, like, hey, it's not just exclusive to the Square-Enix store. There's other regions that are going to have English language versions of it as well. In Southeast Asia, you're most likely the packaging is going to be completely in English. You're going to pop it into your Switch, and it's going to be in English. It's going to be great. So if you don't care about having that ESRB logo on there and you just want the game, this is an option. Just realize shipping is a little pricey. It's international. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Just giving you guys a heads up. Catch you on the next one. Bye.